What's going on, guys? Lewis here with Making Money with Music. Now, this has been a topic over years, and I figure I put my 2 cents in it. All right, one of the best things that ever happened to musicians is streaming. And in my opinion, one of the worst things that ever happened to musicians was streaming. Right? It all started with Napstar, where consumers were able to gain access to your music without paying. Prior to that, they were buying a tangible product known as CDs. And once the streaming era came into play, um, it seemed as if musicians wasn't really making any money anymore, right? So, and I gotta be honest, streaming does not make sense to me, and maybe I don't know enough about the topic. But here's my 2 cents, right? Streaming is the best thing that ever happened to artists because it gives us an opportunity to reach our consumers, without going through the quote unquote gatekeepers. But also, streaming is a bad thing for us, I believe, because we do not see any money because we're not selling any tangible product. People are able to get our music, but we're not being compensated for that. However, with that said, I still like streaming because it allows you to reach your consumer, and I mean, financially speaking, you have other opportunities um, to take advantage of because you have a new audience that you wouldn't have had, had you had to go through a third party or the gatekeeper and get them a CD. So streaming doesn't make sense to me. I've never made any money off of streaming, and maybe somebody watching this has, and they can give you more information on it. But I was faced with a situation a while back where I was working a corporate job, and I had to make a decision. I was no longer working that job. I got laid off. I had tried to find a job for a few months. I was a sole breadwinner in my household. And I was like, all right, I need to, do this music thing full time because this is what I know, and this corporate thing isn't working. So I'm gonna do the music thing. So I did the music thing, and I'm looking at it, and I have to be honest with myself. I have to make money. As much as I love music, I have to make money. That is what it is. And when I was looking at the streaming thing, it just never made sense to me. Did a lot of research. Giving the money away makes sense. A consumer, they pay $10 a month to Amazon or Spotify or whatever, and it's straightforward. Here's $10. Amazon and Spotify, here's $10, and Amazon and Spotify on the other hand, they say, okay, here's unlimited. Here's unlimited music. You listen to music as long as you want, as many songs as you want, whatever. That's a straightforward transaction. However, when it comes to me receiving money, it seems to be extremely, extremely complicated. And to me, in terms of me trying to take care of my family and receive money, that is a gigantic red flag. So I chose to do some other things that made more sense to me. So that's my take on it. Streaming to this day, I've watched a lot of videos. I've read a lot of material. Um, I actually have a degree in business, so I'm familiar with financial management and accounting practices of the sort. And it still doesn't make sense to me. All right, whether that's on purpose or it just happens or it's coincidental, I don't know. But it doesn't make sense to me if I'm trying to take care of my family. If I'm trying to receive money from my music, streaming doesn't make sense to me. So my recommendation to anyone, just based on my experience, make the music because you love it. But if you're looking to make music, make money from streaming of music, I don't think you're going to get it. But what you're going to get is you're going to get somebody that enjoys your music. And now that you have a new audience member, maybe you can work with a different, some type of sponsor. If you make relaxing music, maybe you work, maybe you can partner with a some kind of company that sells stress reliever products or something like that. But you know, you're not going to make money directly from the music. You can make money indirectly from the music. But again, streaming doesn't make sense to me. Whoever's streaming, they're making money from it, man, fantastic. Maybe you can teach the rest of us. Have a good day.